Again, welcome to the Speak On It radio panel, sponsored by the North Carolina A&T National Association of Black Journalists. So, of course, tonight we'll be learning about tips and tricks how to be successful within the radio industry. So, like I mentioned before, we have some great panelists, and I will allow each one of them to kind of introduce themselves. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with Marky Marc. Would you like to go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background in the radio industry and how you got started?
Can you go to somebody else first, please?
Of course. Alicia, are you ready?
What's up, everyone? I'm Lisha. I go by Lisha Be Live, as y'all can see. I went to A&T, graduated in 2018. Love to see it. And I currently have an afternoon show that happens on 92 CLE. And I also am the producer of the syndicated morning show, Russ Parr Morning Show, that's in DC. And it's exciting to see 102 Jamz people because that's where I got my start in radio. So shout out to Roxie and Marky Marc, because I wouldn't be in this position without them. But that's just a little bit about me.
All right, so we'll go next to DJ D Twin.
How y'all doing, everybody? My name is Antonio Esquire, also known as DJ D Twin. I've spent 10 years working with the local radio station. I'm on northeastern side of North Carolina, borderline, close to VA. But I've been doing radio with a radio station, which is 99.5 Jamz, which was a hip hop station. But we just converted to a R&B and throwback station. So that's actually happened since the pandemic. But within the pandemic, I really been doing more with sales and advertisement a lot more aggressively and trying to get small businesses back with things like that. And then I have a podcast called D Twin Radio, where me, my girlfriend, and a good friend of mine just came together, and so we're gonna start putting out content for the culture.
Hey, Roxie.
Hey everybody, my name is Roxie. I'm 1/3 of 3 Live Crew Morning Show on 102 Jamz. I've been doing that for about 7-8 years. We started in 2014. I'm a Ram, but it's HBCU love. It's HBCU love. I am a Ram though. I graduated from Winston-Salem State in 2011.
Marky Marc, you ready?
Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all see me?
Yes.
All right, how y'all doing, man? What's up, Aggies? If y'all don't know, I'm Marky Marc. I graduated from A&T 2014. I'm from DC, so I always put on for my Metro Aggies. As far, yeah, all my Crosby kids, y'all still go by Crosby kids? Or y'all
Yes, we do.
Sure do.
We lit, man. When I was at A&T, I had a TV show that was similar to 106 in Park called Fame, still for fashion and music entertainment. We got a chance to actually interview Terrence J on the show and other guests like the kid ain't on as I got in DC. So I started Go-Go show find me on Fridays at WNAA for all the people from back home to get Go-Go. 2 seconds, my bad.
You're good.
Jamz, Drake, 21 Savage, and Project Pat. Night Talk. We got a what? Yeah, so I did that at A&T. And yeah, I did pretty much everything there is to do at A&T. So Aggie Pride, I got an internship at 102 Jamz in 2014. And then it's on and popping ever since then. Roxie will tell you how annoying I was. Like, when I got in the building, it was on and popping. And here we are. I'm on every night from Monday through Sunday, 7 to midnight, and Fridays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 2 in the morning. So that's a brief.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our discussion topics. Okay, so what are some skills that every aspiring radio personality needs to have? And we can go ahead and start with Roxie, because I'm going with the top of my screen right now.
You said skills aspiring radio personalities need to have?
Yes.
I don't know if I necessarily put this under a skill, but being your authentic self is the best way to gain success in this industry. No faking, no phony stuff. People can smell it out so fast, and it is the quickest way to fail. Like, it's very difficult to make relationships with other people in the industry, but more importantly, it's difficult to make that connection with your listeners if you're not real and if you're not authentic. So, like I said, I don't know if I would necessarily put that under the umbrella of a skill, but it's definitely something that is extremely, extremely important.
All right, Alicia.
I definitely agree with Roxy. I think my skill would be being dedicated, because the industry's hard. I feel like there's a lot of downs before there's ups. And if you don't remember your why and why you love what you do in this industry, particularly radio, entertainment, music, all of that, you're not gonna really grind or be successful as you want, because you're not being as determined as you need, because it's definitely an industry where you gotta be as dedicated and determined and grind as much as you can before someone gives you a yes.
Antonio?
I agree exactly what they were saying, especially what Alicia said with the fact of being dedicated, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you really step into it, you got to grind to get to the point where you're noticeable, outside of so many other individuals that could have been doing it before you came on the scene. And hard work, dedication, determination, you know what I mean? And looking at the end goal of where you're trying to get to is going to pretty much take you to where you're trying to, because it's not like it's going to fall right in your lap. You know what I mean? Your show content is not going to just, if you don't come together and figure out how you're going to structure your show, you're going to have a horrible show. You know what I mean? And if you got a horrible show, people are not going to listen to it. So you got to be dedicated. I mean, and I love what Roxy said in the beginning, authentically being you, because yes, you're going to be yourself, but if you don't have that true diehard spirit to be in radio and build on what it can do for you and how you want to build in your surrounding and things like that, it's going to break. I've known people that it broke in their first, couple of months or years trying to really get to the level that they expect themselves to be. So that's my 2 cents.
Oh, thank you so much, Antonio. Marky Marc.
Touched on everything for real. And it's hard to like Roxy, it's hard to say a skill and then without going into like in depth what we really gonna talk about. So one thing I would say just as far as like right here is act like you've been here before. Like every day is prime time. Every day is all of it. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait till you get in a position of you finally on to act like you on. It's when you an intern acting like you a full-time radio personality. You got to see yourself in that position of where you want to be right now, because it don't happen overnight. So the habits you building right now and the things you trying to get to, if you don't start practicing and doing show prep and acting like you on every night. Like I started out at 2 or 6 in the morning. So I knew right there, like, I got to give it my all as if I'm on the morning show, if I'm on middays, because I never know who's in their car listening to me. I never know who I might come across. You know what I'm saying? Like even everybody on here, like if I was on here, I would have my face on the screen. Like I would not even have I would have my face visible, because you never know who you going to meet. When, you know what I'm saying? It could be a conversation like this and me and Roxy seeing y'all face, or any of the other panelists seeing y'all face. And it's like, oh, that's them. I remember them. So I would say like, act like you in that position now. Now is the show prep, and act like you got the #1 show in the world. Like it starts now before you even get on to develop that habit. That's what I would say.
Thank you. And so question number 2 is like, how did you get your start in radio? And I know each one of you kind of touched base on this in the beginning, but as Roxy said, and as Antonio said, like it's about that grind. So can you guys speak to the grind that you had to commit to in order to get to where you are today? And I'll start with Alicia.
Okay, well, like I said, I transferred into A&T. So at my old college, I had a radio show, but it wasn't anything that I took seriously. It was just me playing around with my friends. But then I took it seriously when I became a Crosby kid. And my first internship was with 102 Jamz. And I was grinding out, setting up them tents, getting up really early in the morning to give coffee for the remotes. So like everyone said, the dedication, late nights, early mornings were what I did. I was blessed enough to be able to get to know Morgan McKenzie, who's now in Oklahoma, and we created a relationship. And through there, once I did everything else, I was an intern for Ryan Seacrest, and that was really fun in Charlotte. I ended up moving to Virginia Beach and being a promotions assistant there. Thankfully, I was able to come back to my hometown of DC, and now I grinded my way through there, and I love Morgan too. And I grinded my way to being an associate producer for the morning show. So that sounds really cool. And that sounds like I did all that in a short amount of time, but that took over like 7 years to get that together. And there were times where I definitely was crying in my house, being like, this is not gonna work. I'm still struggling, and I may not be exactly where I wanna be, but without 102 Jamz and without A&T and as a whole, I wouldn't even be in a place to give my voice to my home, because DC is a #7 market. So to be here is really dope.
Roxy, you can go next. Oh, no. What'd you say?
My bad. You from back home?
Yes.
Turn up. Oh. We go around. My bad. I'm sorry. She from home.
You good. I understand. Roxy, you can go ahead and go next.
So it's so funny. Lisha was saying it took her 7 years, like, to get to a place where she felt like she was successful. It took me 7 years as well. I started as an intern at 102 Jamz in 2007. But prior to that, I was actually really lucky and really blessed to have a college professor my freshman year that told our class, like, don't wait until you get to your senior year to start doing internships. Like, do those throughout your college career so that you can see what you like and what you don't like. And I had actually done a television internship, and I thought I wanted to be an anchor, a news anchor. And I did that internship my freshman year, and I hated it. And so my sophomore year, I said, well, let me try radio and see if I like radio. And I did an internship at 102 Jamz, and I loved it. And Marky Marc was saying, like, when he got in the building, like, he was just everywhere. Anything anybody asked him to do, he would do it. And I was the same way, because in this industry, it's not like Walmart or Food Lion where, they're just a bunch of employees. Like, for you to get hired, somebody has to get fired. Somebody has to leave. And so when those opportunities come, like, we have to know your face. People have to know your face. They have to know your name. They have to know your work ethic. And so all of that grinding, that's the internship, making those relationships, showing people that I'm available, I'm ready to work, I'm willing to work, I can work. That's what you do during your internship. And once my internship was over, I had worked so hard, they offered me a job in a department called research. And research sucks. We literally sat in a room the size of a closet, and we called people and asked them to rate the songs we play on the station. Like, do you like this song? Do you like that song? It sucked. And I did that for like 3 years. But while I was doing that, I was still making myself available wherever I was needed. Promotions department, programming, going to music meetings, anywhere I could get in, I was there. I'm available. I can do it. Eventually that led to part-time. And then that eventually led me to an opportunity to audition for the morning show. And I ended up landing that position. But just a lot of hard work before I actually, got here.
All right. Thank you, Roxy. Antonio, you want to go ahead and go next?
Wow, I love y'all testimonies. It's just so heartfelt. It's just amazing. I feel the Black excellence all in the Zoom room. Okay. But my story is kind of got some curves and, let's say, spirals. The reason I said it because even though, and I must say, first and foremost, I thank God for all things that has happened to put me on this journey, most importantly. So to anybody who is a believer in a higher power than themselves, I trust that you trust in that, okay? Because I went to A&T my first year. I got with a couple homeboys, it didn't work out. We end up going back home. Okay. Luckily, I'm fortunate. It's a community college in my neighborhood. But I discovered my passion for radio at A&T. Okay. So I came back home. I got into associate arts college transfer because I knew that I wanted to be able to get in radio. Okay. So, and I say, that's why I said, Alicia, when you say the dedication is real, you got to be real dedicated. It's real talk. Okay. I came back to A&T. When I came back to A&T, I didn't have financial aid. I had no meal plan. I stayed for one semester, sleeping on my homeboy's couch. And it was just tough, like really tough. Okay. All right. That didn't work. So I came back to the local community college to finish the remainder of my general education courses. And I say general education courses because we already know, to the people that's about to graduate, you know, or the people in the beginning, you already know what they are, the core courses before you get into the major courses. Okay. Finished those. When I finished those, it was a local radio station here that it was 99.5 Jamz, the hip hop station. I know a girl that told me and a couple of friends that she was interning at that radio station. Just so happened that I tried to intern with the radio station. It didn't work that time. Okay. Left that community college, transferred. I ended up going to Elizabeth City. So I'm actually a Viking. I didn't get a chance there. So shout out to Elizabeth City for that. Because Elizabeth City allowed me to be able to get back on track. I ran into a guy that was from my hometown. He was the radio instructor. So I was fortunate enough to take his class, and then on top of that, get a part of the radio street team. Got into that, and I actually ended up being a co-host with a guy, and he just so happened to start pledging, and then he started slacking. So I ended up start picking the slack. So I was able to get a couple air checks, get myself situated. Like you, Alicia, I transferred in. It's because I transferred in time like that. Okay. So lucky I was fortunate that I got my actual air checks when I left college, because when I came back home to that same radio station, and I said, all praise to the Most High, because Most High aligned things in perfect plan that He know our heart and passion is in. I came home, a high school buddy of mine actually was doing the weather break for the Rush Park Morning Show for our station here. Because like I said, we're borderline North Carolina, but more Virginia as well. Okay. So I reached out to him, said, yo, look, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Like, can you work out something? I was like, look, I'm gonna send you my air check, send it to your people, see what they can do. Okay. Just so happened, boom, 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 it got me in to be able to intern with him. I took that opportunity first, no pay, just to be able to get into it so that way they know who I was. I was with him. I had to ride with him. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get to him 6 o'clock to do the weather. We'll be out around about 9, 10 o'clock. Boom. One day, I'm no longer doing that with him. Now they're asking me to board off something else, and I have no transportation. Okay. I'm gonna tell you how determined I was. I had no choice, but I was so determined. The station from where I live was an hour away walking distance. I walked from my grandmother's house to the radio station because I wanted it that bad. Okay. God aligned things in perfect order because that's what He do. He's our Father. Okay. I just want to say that. Just I be going back to that. I did that until I got to the point where one day my mother walked into my grandmother's house. She said, I'm gonna get rid of my sister. Rashika bike, that's my sister, because it's just sitting around in the house. And I said, oh no, don't get rid of that. Let me get that. I rode that bike until I had enough money to get an old car that I had fixed. And then after that, when things start moving, the programmer and our head of the hip hop station called me in to do a air check to read one of the liners. And then he gave me another script to read. Next, you know, he's like, Monday, I want you to fill in for any time that any of us is out. After that, it started working. One guy got fired, and I started doing the evening show from 6 to 10, Monday through Friday. And it was amazing to the point where I picked up DJing and started DJing with the station. And because I'm from the area, I started getting people that was wanting me to do their advertisement. So they pushed me into sales. And it's just an amazing experience because I was at every, when I was volunteering, I was at every remote doing every bored out behind the scenes stuff. When they doing live broadcasts, I was doing every commercial, anything they need me to do for me to make myself there visible to know I want to be on the team, not temporarily. And, you know, it's been good ever since. So I really can't complain, but I think I love it and I'm still going. And that's why with my podcast, I get to be able to do more talk style compared to with commercial radio. You kind of do little liners, you do a little bit of talk, and then after that, you go back to the music or commercial. So that's pretty much my story.
So much. We're gonna go ahead and jump to the next question, which is what should we be doing in college if we are interested in pursuing a career in radio? And Mark, I'll go ahead and let you start. Go ahead.
You just scared me like I can't even tell my
That's why I went to you first. See, I had to go back.
102. Hey man, it is something else. I'm gonna tell you about this girl East. Coming up next, I got details on how you can call me to get that Thanksgiving turkey. I'm sorry, y'all. Is it my go?
Yes, it is your go. So share your grind, and please also share if we are interested in getting started in the radio industry, what's something that we can be doing now in college to go ahead and get that start.
All right, bet. First of all, I want to say to everybody on the call, it might seem like we got a lot to say. It's just that when you put a lot of grind and you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, literally, you can't help but be passionate about it. Your story in this industry right here is going to be lengthy. So just bear with me. I'm going to try to, you know what I'm saying, skim it down. So I came to A&T in 2010. And I didn't listen to no radio, listen to no hip hop. Like, I'm from DC. Everything was just go-go. Like, that's all I knew was go-go. So I got to A&T. I knew I wanted to be on the radio and I wanted to be a sports journalist. So I got it in the Crosby Hall. And if y'all know, they gonna news minute you to death at Crosby Hall. Like, they gonna make you do news minutes. They gonna make you do a whole lot of things that our culture not really centered around in a sense. So when I first got there, was a lot of classes centered around news and being an anchor and, you know, hi, this is WNA News Minute. Like, it never fit me. Like, it never was me. So I branched off outside of that. And like I said, I started a TV show, Fame. And I was kind of like the black sheep A&T. I was just did me. I had so much personality. I just wanted to figure out everything. So like I said, I started the TV show. That went well. We ended that. I started the go-go show at WNA, NAA. That went well. So when I did TV, I said, listen, everybody wants to be in front of the camera. I always got to look a certain way. I got to dress a certain way. I got to fit this persona and this image. And it just was a lot to, you know, to try to do every day and compete with so many people. And then when I got to know about radio, I'm like, cool. It's just me in here by myself and people just hear I could just, you know, have my own personality. Can y'all hear me? I'm good. All right, but I ain't charged my.
Hear you.
All right. So yeah, so I got on and internship. We used to have a class that used to make us have an internship class. So I'll never forget. So I got everything together. This is my senior year. I'm late on the board. Like, I was too busy turning up in college, hosting parties and just outside of college. Like, you know, the groundwork, letting people know who I am, hosting parties and things of that nature. So Los was here at the station. And we had interviews. They came up to the station and everybody was in there and they had all the news stations. But the only thing that was like, for us, in a sense, was 102. So I was like, I'm not going to work at no news station, no newspaper. All that is dead. I'm not doing none of that. So the intern Los came in and I was like, you know, I got my own radio show here. I let him hear it. He was like, all right, bet. Give me information and I'm going to get in contact with you. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Just like y'all, I'm emailing and like, hey, what's up, Los? Can you get back to me? So they put me under my mentor, Tap Money. And Tap Money saved my life. So I'm just like, all right, bet. Can I get back to you? You know, you applying for internship. Everybody wants an internship at 102 Jamz. So I had a good friend of mine named KB. We had on-air class together. And this is the best thing about networking around campus and just talking to everyone in your field, because you never know when somebody's going to give you the alley-oop or the extra boost you need to get in the building. So by KB being a good friend of mine and I'm hosting parties with him and we met through on-air class, he was already in the building. So by us having that connection, he told Tap, listen, this is my little bro. He need an internship, put him on. I'm on. So I get in the building my senior year, which is 2014, and I get my first internship. And he told me the first day, it's a difference between being in the building and being in the building. And I'm like, what? He like, it's a difference between being an intern, coming up here, taking pictures with the celebrities, trying to be on the radio, take a quick selfie, and get out, than to actually coming in here and putting in work and letting people know who you were. So once he told me that, like, I hated the word intern. I hated the word intern. We went out in the street hits and everybody else would introduce themselves as radio personalities. Like, well, who is that? I was like, oh, I'm the intern. I just felt like, nah, I don't like that word. Like, intern to me didn't feel official. It felt like I was just like faking it till I make it. I just hated that word. So I was like, all right, bet, I'm in here. I got in the building. I interned with TAP, but I would come to everybody's shift. I would come to the morning shift. I would come to the afternoon shift. I would come to my intern shift. I would go to the night show. I would come to every single thing, any remote, any street hit. I was in there. I was just jumping in the van. I wasn't even supposed to be going. Y'all leave somewhere. Boop, I'm in the van. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, y'all got this. Okay, I'm there. I need this. I need that. So I was air checks. Air checks is a very important thing. Air checks is like your resume in radio. It's how you sound. It's how you come in and out your breaks. Like that would be your resume in a sense if you was in corporate America telling you what you are. I never knew how to do an air check. My first air check was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. Nobody liked it. So I kept asking, how do I get better? How do I get better? So it got to a point where I was creating an air check every day. I created an air check every day, and I would send it to the morning show. I would send it to TAP. I was sending it to Waleed. I was sending it to everybody. Like, how can I get better? How can I get better? What can I do? What can I do? And I would say constructive criticism is everything. You got to seek information in this industry because nobody's going to give you nothing. Because by them giving you something, like Roxie say, it's hard to get in here. It's only 4 positions. The morning show count as 1, 10 to 3, 3 to 7, and 7 to midnight. And we all work hard to get. So once you get in the seat, you ain't trying to leave. So I got in here. They finally put me on 2 to 6 in the morning. It's hard to get people to know who you are at 2 to 6 in the morning. It's hard to people like you on from what in the morning? Like, yeah, I'm on 2 to 6 in the morning. Who you with? Tap in. You know what I'm saying? So before I started, I didn't have my slogan. I didn't have nothing. I used to come in and look at Roxie and them. I used to be like, how y'all do that? How y'all just get on the radio and do X, Y, and Z? And practice. So I would come in here every day. Practice, 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 practice. I finally got a call from TAP saying you on. So 102 Jamz is one of the only stations in the world that, or in the United States, has 24 hours, which means there's always a jock on here. And I feel like if I didn't come to Jamz, I probably wouldn't be here where I was because they allowed me to be on air and actually learn my craft. So I'm doing 2 to 6 in the morning. I'm still learning, getting better. I'm doing 3 nights a week. Then I started being a 6-man. After I was a 6-man, that was like, you pretty much fill in for everything. And one of my highlight moments, Roxie will tell you, I got a chance to be on the morning show, Roxie, and I bombed it. I was like, oh my God, this is totally different. So I'm back in the lab. So I'm working. I'm still, part-time, still local key. So I got an opportunity to go to Fayetteville. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. My mentor went out there. So I'm getting there, and it's all about opportunity. Like in this job, you're gonna have a lot of nights where you feel like, man, I'm this and I'm that. I should be paid this. I deserve this opportunity, but you are nobody. And it's hard, and it's sad to say that, looking at it like that. But when he offered me the opportunity, I'm like, Fayetteville? What is Fayettille? Like, I'm not about to leave 102 to go to Fayettille. And he looked at me straight in my face like, Mark, who are you? I'm like, damn, what you mean? He like, who are you? What have you done? Why does somebody need to give you a job? Why does somebody need to give you X, Y, and Z of money? Like, you just need to be happy for the opportunity. He was like, so if you're going to take this opportunity and you're going to rock with it, hold on. 102 Jamz. It sounds so good coming through your speakers right now. Brand new music. Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak. Smoking out the window. Throw that Reggie out the side. So I got on the radio. And I went to Fayetteville. Woof, Fayetteville, boy, it was like going to JUCO. It was like I'm at 102 Jamz and I'm going to Fayetteville. You know what I'm saying? And I got written off. It was like, you're never gonna do nights here, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you feel? Like, you're gonna get told a lot of no's constantly. Like, no, it ain't your time. It ain't your time. Like, I was looking at everybody else that I thought that I was better than, or thought that I could hang with. They was getting time, and I just had to know that their journey is not mine, and I can't hold my success or next success. And when my time comes, I gotta be ready. I can't say that I want something that I'm putting in position, but I ain't been working or putting in no work. Now I'm looking crazy. So I went to Fayetteville. My first book in Fayetteville, I got the highest ratings in the history of the station for the night show. Nominated for Radio Personality of the Year. 3 radio awards, and I had did so good that 102 Jamz called me back. And if you know I'm program director, you know, that's like getting a call from boy. So I got a call like, Mark, we hear you doing big things and you're doing a lot of work. And I was out of there in like a year and a half. I came back to Jamz, turned up, and the rest is history. And you know what I'm saying? I've been blessed to have the #1 show on a nighttime. I've never had a #2 show since I've been on radio. I've been #1 all my years, and I always try to get back. And it's always a constant, you know, to keep elevating your brand outside of radio. So radio saved my life. If it wasn't for radio, I don't know where I'd be right now, but radio was like the best thing that happened to me to keep me out of DC. And this journey was a lot of no's. I done been up a lot of mornings, no food, no nothing, just straight grind. At the station, sleeping in the back, you know what I'm saying? Waking up, getting on air, going to host parties, going to school, because the parties helped me elevate my radio stature. So that's in a nutshell how I got on the radio. And man, like this train, as y'all can see, this train saved my day, saved my life, man. It's lit. Like I get to wake up every day and do what I love. It's lit. We in this thing.
Period. Thank you, Mark. And thank you each one of you guys for sharing your testimonies and your stories. And my questions aren't as important as my members' questions. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into their questions. And first, I would like to go to India. Can you go ahead and come off mute and ask your question, please?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Okay. My name is India. I am a senior at A&T Journalism Mass Communication student. And I'm currently on the radio station for my school, WNAA. I think I have talked to you several times, Marky Marc. But my question is, with me, I'm a senior pushing myself, like I'm doing interviews on the radio station. I'm just trying to do different stuff to put, because you got to put yourself out there, and I understand that. But with the pandemic, it has pushed a lot of things back as far as internships and even so of staying consistent. Like it's been hard to stay consistent when you know that there might not be an internship due to like me want to do radio and sharing. I know with the microphones and stuff, the internships are going to be hard. So just advice on how to stay consistent and still like, how do you push through this pandemic still, especially in the entertainment industry?
How do you want to do it?
So, okay. I don't know if anybody has an answer to.
Oh, I didn't know if like.
Oh yeah, anybody can jump in.
Okay. Hey girl, congratulations. Shout out to you for having a show and for like grinding. Shout out to you. I would love to see your stuff, but this is gonna sound like really like it's not helpful at all. But what you're doing is the step. Like having the show, interviewing people, maybe, I don't know if you've already done this, but like putting the interviews on social media. Even for me, when I was kind of like in between during the pandemic, I still, you know, tried to figure out the best way to still make things work, which is why I made my podcast, which is why I started putting my air checks, like Marky Marc said. I make an air check every month at this point. I've put it on my social media. If you follow me on social media, you see all my air checks are there, because you never know, like people that follow me, sometimes they'll comment and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that someone of your radio personality stature is following me. Oh my goodness. So just continue what you're doing because someone will see it. I don't know what your content is, but just putting as much content as you have out. And like you said, staying consistent is probably the hardest part. Just remembering why you love what you do and putting out as much as you possibly can. That's just my advice, if that helps.
Thank you so much, love. It did. Thank you.
Anybody else want to help out with her question?
I can respond if nobody else. Like Alicia was saying, really like for me, when the pandemic hit, my station is a smaller market. So I actually was delayed for a little while, pretty much being able to do a show on the station. So with me having the passion that I have for being a personality and a content curator, like I just couldn't sit still. So I instantly thought to get with a homeboy and try to do a podcast. All right. We actually had good steam. We was rolling pretty all right, but it was just, I was trying to get him to kind of see the picture that I was on, but we just couldn't get there. And that podcast kind of got to a standstill. And from there, I was like, man, if I'm putting so much energy into this, I might as well just do my own. And from there, you know, I just started doing D-Twin radio, like I said, with my girlfriend and one of my good friends. And like, it's so cool because we would do Facebook Live episodes while also recording the content. Because Anchor FM is one of the platforms I use to host my podcast. But and then from there it goes out to other platforms and things of that nature. But that's what really kept me vibrant in it, because right when things start picking back up and I start getting back to the station and doing ads and, you know, getting back to the grind, because when things start lifting back up, I was like, okay, matter of fact, like, I'm so empowered with what I'm creating myself, like just staying in the small aspects of, you know, what we do on commercial radio is like really being able to get into the, especially if you're a person that you really got a lot that you want to get out, being able to do a podcast is a good aspect to build. And then when you're trying to pitch to a radio station that you know, a good personality and you know how to bring forth good content, you know, you'll have something to be able to provide to them to listen to.
Thank you. Thank you so
I
much.
just want to add one more thing. I totally agree with Lisha when she said that, like, you're doing the step, because you definitely are, like, using whatever platform you have. Like, I always tell everybody with social media, we all have a voice. We all have a platform, because you never know what you're going to post that people will just gravitate to and that could go viral. So continue to do that. I know it might be hard because, like you said, like, you're coming up in COVID times, like up at Jamz, we can't have any interns. We can't have anybody in the building. And I know there are a lot of companies like that as well. So I know it's difficult because, you know, the outlook is kind of grim, just because everything is in such a state of limbo. But just, you know, dig deep inside yourself, find that motivation within yourself and just keep going. And I will also suggest that, you know, you reach out personally to program directors, personalities. Like, I have a girl that reached out to me like a month ago, and she was like, you know, I know y'all can't have any interns, but, you know, when you open back up, I'm available, I'm ready to work. And as soon as we can have people back in the building, she will be the first person I call, because she's the only person that's reached out to me this whole time. Like, even though you can't, when you can, I'm available. So try to make those personal connections and network, even though, you know, things are sort of at a standstill right now. They won't be always. And hopefully you'll be able to, you know, capitalize on what you did while things were a bit slow when everything's up and moving again.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much,
Hey,
Ms. Rock. I appreciate
quick
it.
question before you go. When things are available in this industry, they pretty much already take it. So if you wait for something to get posted, you way behind. You might as well go ahead and wrap it up, because in the radio industry, the entertainment industry, everything is, before it reaches the surface, it's already been put into fruition. Man, it's songs that y'all hear on the radio, y'all think it's brand new. That joint about 2 years old. The label just held on it. When it comes to an internship and people that's proactive and still reaching out to us during these times where we know can't nothing happen, like, we take a mental note. We might not respond right back then and there, or we might not get back to you, but we understand the people that's like if y'all understand, like, we ain't telling y'all no, we ain't dead. Like, we been in y'all shoes. You know what I'm saying? We was there. Roxy was there before social media even happened. You know what I'm saying? The ability of, like, Instagram. When I was coming up, like, it wasn't no instant. Well, I'm not that old, Roxy. You not that old, Roxy. I'm just saying, like,
damn, he said
no,
before Instagram.
no, me. I'm talking about, like, in 2014, Instagram wasn't, like, you know what I'm saying? 2013, Instagram really wasn't is what it is now for y'all to be. Like, it's easy to connect with somebody now. When I was coming up through A&T, it was all footwork. It was all like phone calls, emails. It wasn't like, hey, social media, like, hey, I'm such and such, instant response. So I would say, like Roxy said, keep reaching out, and it start now. Because if you wait till we open back up, yeah, that's already gonna be filled. You can be like, dang, man, it just opened yesterday. Nah, this ain't been open. You ain't want to put in the work, and you ain't want to move until it was green light. You guys been start putting in, you know what I'm saying, your steps to get you
Right. And that's my thing. Like I reach out, but I think I reach out a little too much, and I don't want to become that like annoying person. Like when you start to get annoying, then you get blocked. So I be trying to figure out when is it okay, that's enough, and you just wait. Cause I'm more of a go-getter. Like I'm gonna just keep reaching out until, I hear back or I got it or getting the feedback. But I tend to be like, okay, am I being annoying? Am I being a little pushing too much? And I don't want to get blocked. So it just be when is it a stop point?
Man, you make us come get you. Like in this industry, we all know who doing what. We know what's up. Our ears snap connected to the streets. Like when you putting in work and you grinding your own craft and building your own brand, that's when people more gravitate to you. So if you reach out, but you gotta, as much as you reach out, you gotta put more effort into your work so somebody want to reach out for you. You know what I'm saying? Once you plant that seed and plant that bug here and there, it's time for you to go 1,000% to get your brand up. Because we know what's what. Like I'm in the clubs, I'm in the streets, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So one of us gonna hear you. Like we all connected within this whole industry, and we know who doing what, who making something shake.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank y'all.
All right, Kayla, I believe you have a question, and this question is specifically for Roxy. So Kayla, if you want to come off mute, if you can.
Yes, I can. So I was just wondering, because I'm more so want to be a news anchor. That's kind of my ultimate goal. However, I'm also not against like starting off small in like radio, something like that. So I was wondering, like specifically for you, you said like it was not it for you. So like what was the biggest difference between radio and reporting for you? What made you get into radio rather than that?
So Marky Marc kind of touched on it when he was saying whenever he was in front of the camera, it's much more stiff, much more uptight. At that time, like you're talking about like 06, 07, news was really tight. Like now, you see the girls, they got their braids, they're wearing their natural hair, the outfits are a little more jazzy. At that time, it was like doobie wrap, suit jacket, sit up straight. Like it was really rigid. And that wasn't for me. Like that was at a time where I was doing like pink hair, red hair, whatever color hair. It just it didn't fit like my style, my swag. I just wanted something where I felt like I could be more me. I didn't want to code switch and, I didn't want to have to be somebody that I'm not. And so when I came over to the radio side, I could totally be me at Jamz. Like I am the culture. Like, so it was just much more comfortable for me. And that's that was at the time, like a personal preference. That's something that, you would have to decide, whether or not it's too rigid or, if that's fine with you, having to dress up every day, do your makeup, your hair and stuff like that. When you on radio, ain't nobody seeing you. You roll out of bed, throw a t-shirt on, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. But when you're on the other side, the TV side, you have to put your best foot forward, not only with, the content and, your personality, but also with your appearance. And I just wasn't into that.
I have something. I know that you said that you wanted to be a news anchor. Radio does have news stations. So if you want to dibble and dabble in that to see whether radio and news could be like a emerging thing for you. A lot of talent I know for our morning show, we have a news anchor that comes in and does a quick segment. And then obviously there's stations like NPR and like strictly news stations. So I would also give that a try just to see, you're in college. It's the time to test things out anyway. So I feel like that would be really cool for you to see whether you like doing that, for instance.
That's great advice.
Yes, thank you.
And quick question. I know I might have touched on this already, and I don't mean to be this guy, but this is life lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all knew this call was today and you knew it was people within your industry and you know it was people that can get you places or give you knowledge, it's no reason why everybody shouldn't have a face camera on and looking presentable, because you never, seriously though, like it's all about putting a name with a face. Like you never know, like I could see y'all on this Zoom call or you might catch me at the club or you might catch me at a concert. I'm like, oh, that's such and such from NABJ. I remember on that call. Or Roxy might, when you get these internships and you get X, Y, and Z, like when you get on certain calls, you gotta make your impact known. Like sitting on here not asking questions and like I don't care if you ask a stupid question, that don't matter about nothing. That's just putting a bug out there to introduce yourself in a way and then give us a little bit about you, or like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand how to play your room and know where you at. You know what I'm saying? So you could be crazy looking the rest of the day, but this little slight window, y'all should put y'all face cameras on and make sure you networking, because I say it's all about who you know in this industry. It's all about who you know. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all got the bonding on, I ain't gonna judge you. I'm just saying a little word to the wise. Face. You know what I'm talking about? All right, cool.
Thank you. Does anybody else? Oh, can you hear me good? Does anybody else have any more questions? Oh, you can't hear me? I'm good? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, anybody else have any more questions they want to ask? If so, you can come off mute.
I do want to say this don't happen often. I wish I had something like this while I was at A&T, being able to pick people's brains that are in the industry. So shout out to NABJ for doing this.
All right, well.
Can everybody
wanna
introduce
add-
themselves, please?
Huh?
I said, can everybody on the call at least come up and introduce themselves so we at least know who we on, who you with, what's up? Like, we trying to get y'all the gateway. Listen, our OGs was mean. Like, y'all don't understand. I had to get cookies for my internship. I was on some P. Diddy. I had to go get a cheesecake. Y'all don't understand. Y'all got it good. Y'all got to take advantage of it, man. I'm trying to tell you, got some great people in the room. Man, A&T got a great alumni base. All the HBCUs stick together. And I'm trying to tell you, you got to have faith in yourself. Like, outside of Crosby Hall not going to give you everything. A&T not going to give you everything. You got to be able to step outside of that realm and bet on yourself and understand where you want to go and what you want to do and make it happen. Like, nobody's going to give you nothing. None of them classes y'all take at A&T is going to provide y'all with any job. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do none of that unless you're going to put the work and go above and beyond. Like I said, out of my graduating class, it was only 3 of us that graduated from journalism. The 3, maybe 5 of us that graduated with journalism with a career in our actual field in which we went to school. I'm just going to put that into perspective for y'all. Like, just let y'all know.
Okay, I feel like I do look next, but you know what? I will come out here and just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Kayla Collier. I am a freshman at North Carolina A&T State University. I am majoring in multimedia journalism with a minor in Spanish, and I will be a news anchor on Good Morning America one day.
Okay, period. I guess I'll go next. My name is Kalima Kute. I am a sophomore journalism and mass communication student with a concentration in multimedia journalism. I'm from the Hollywood of the South, Atlanta, Georgia, and upon graduation, I will be a foreign correspondent for CNN.
Period, Kalima.
I'll go next. My name is Kiani Blackman. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a junior journalism mass communications major, concentration in public relations. And I personally just launched a podcast like a month ago, but I kind of fell off a little bit because the semester got hectic. But I was just recording my little episodes come back, before this program. So I guess I can ask you guys a question in regards to, I guess, podcasts. Do you guys have any advice on just like how to come up with, topics to talk about, or how to like, push yourself to just get behind the mic, even when you're not feeling like it, or you feel discouraged, or you feel like you don't have people that's listening to you, or things like that?
I can definitely touch on that if no one wants to touch on it first. Okay, so 1, shout out to you. Having a mic at all times, okay? Whether I'm home or not, I'm always gonna have a mic on me, because you never know when an opportunity is going to set themselves up. Because I don't know if I said this, but the afternoon show that I do, I'm in DC. My afternoon show broadcasts in Cleveland. Ain't never been to Cleveland in my life, but because I have a mic and a setup with me at all times, I come home and pre-record my show and I'm on from 3 to 7. But so shout out to you. But I would say for podcasting, especially when it comes to like content, the way that I did it is just me having conversations with my friends. Luckily with podcasting, it's not too rigid. Like we were touching on earlier, with radio, commercial radio at that, you may have 30 seconds. And that's a cute 30 seconds, because you might not have 30. So being able to really be yourself and having as much talk time as you want, talk like you're talking with your friends. So one of my segments is the Lituation Report, where I tell all the tea about what's going on, and I do it in maybe 2 minutes. I give you everything you need to know within that 2-minute span, and I'll put it on my social media. So now I'm cross utilizing my platform, because sometimes people don't like hearing just the audio. They're more visual learners. So I'll record myself saying it, put it on social media. There we go. Put it on TikTok. There we go. And that's just how I cross market. And for times that I feel like no one's listening, I also, for my podcast, hosted a virtual concert here. And when I started doing it, I was like, ain't nobody gonna listen. Ain't nobody gonna tune in. No one's gonna buy tickets. No one knows my podcast. Then come to find out, I have people in Japan listening to me who bought tickets. People in Australia bought a ticket for it. You just don't know who is listening to you, because the world is crazy. Like we were saying, social media is such a powerful tool that the person who gave me my job at the station I'm in right now listened to my podcast and took a chance on me. And now I'm in the seat, I'm in the building, I'm working my butt off. I'm not gonna curse, sorry y'all, I almost did. But I'm working my butt off to like really make it, because I'm not on air with them yet. However, the goal is to get there. So y'all may see me on air there, in a year, give or take. But that's what I would say. Just trying to figure out how you can cross market every ounce of content. Even for any segments that you have, maybe posting them. For my podcast, it's called the Lituation Room. So I do Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you know that you're going to see content every Tuesday and Thursday. So each main segment that I have goes up on my platform somehow. So that's what I would say.
Thank you.
I would add, be consistent. Like you heard how Lisha just said, every Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to see something from me. Like if you set a date, like stick to it. If you have a date that you tell your listeners or your audience you're going to deliver something to them, stick to that. And she also said like she delivers everything in 2 minutes, brevity, when you have a podcast. Like there are some that I listen to and it's like da 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 da. I mean, they just go on and on and on. And when you continue to talk like that, you get lost in conversation. Like you get lost. So try to be as brief, detailed, descriptive as you possibly can. Like practice that when you're doing your podcast, so that when you get on and you get a job at a radio station or at a TV station, you're used to delivering things very quickly, because you do have to deliver quickly.
I would say, because that's a great point. The homework that I was given by Morgan, by everyone who has taught me something in the industry, is when I do an air check or I do something for my podcast, I write down every word that I said. And then I'll go back and cross out everything that I could say that I didn't need to put in there that still makes sense, that gets my point across. Like for instance, the baby situation and Danny Lay. I would say that whole story and I would take out things that didn't need to be there that still make sense. And that helps you start to get in the rhythm of being like, okay, that was unnecessary for me to say.
Yes.
Like, that's like a whole 30 seconds I didn't need. And now I'm done my break and I have to go to commercial. What the heck? So that kind of helps me get in the opportunity and get in the mindset of speed thinking and being able to get things as concise and cute. Because you have to remember, your listeners, I treat them like 3-year-olds when it comes to like attention spans. No one's going to want to listen to you for 5 minutes talk about one story. So you got to give it to them in nice little bite-sized content, because they're not going to want to listen to you for 5 minutes, no matter how amazing your voice sounds.
Thank you guys so much. That's great advice.
And one more thing, as far as hold on real quick, bro. My bad. 2 seconds. As far as like you saying, nobody listening to you, this industry is all about confidence and swag. If you ain't confident in yourself, you lose before you even start. Because if you ain't confident in yourself, you're going to question the content you about to put out. You about to second guess your creativity. You about to second guess who you are. The one thing that's going to get you through whatever in this radio industry, entertainment industry, is walking that walk and talking that talk and acting like you've been here before. Like if you show confidence, it's days I done got on the radio and messed up, but I done got so much confidence that I'm going to be like, y'all know how it go, man. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to flip it, but all that start with confidence. And if you don't got no confidence in yourself and your ability to work, like we all mess up. We all fail. Like, oh, well, get back up. Okay, I messed up. Oh, well, we're going to next break. Always live for your next break. So like, even if ain't nobody, I talk to myself every night. I don't know if nobody really listening to me, but it don't matter because I love to do this. So you listen to me, you don't. You know what I'm saying? So just have confidence what you're doing, no matter if you think somebody listen or not.
Thank you.
And I'm just gonna be real quick. I was gonna say, just like what Alicia said, you know what I mean? Like writing everything down. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, like if you don't think that's important, then you are already messing up. Like until you get to that point where it's natural for you to be able to come up with being able to smoothly go in and out, especially with commercial radio. Yeah, you really want to write it out. Or most of the time you have liners that's like I said between 10 seconds to 30 seconds, and you have a short liner for a quick break to go in between songs, and then if you're doing right before you go commercial, you might have a 30-second. But and even with podcasting, like you really just got to know and feel comfortable with the content you're putting out, because like don't focus on the people that's immediately around you that's not listening, because there are so many people in the world that's listening when you really put out your podcast. And I, like Alicia said also as well, I'll put a little clip from the actual content on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So that way every platform is putting in your face to go check out the episode, or when I'm doing the mix, I might shout it out, but that's pretty much what it is.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate that.
Rosalie, you can go ahead and ask your question if you all are willing, the panelists. I don't know. You guys have prior responsibilities. You okay to take this question?
Man, I'm here. I love the way everybody follows suit, got on here and introduce themselves. Like, y'all our future, man. Like, anything y'all need, we here. Because if ain't nobody pass us down the game, we wouldn't be here. So it's our responsibility to get back to, you know what I'm saying, our communities, the HBCUs, our radio family. Does anybody aspiring to be who we want to be? Because we can't be here forever. So, like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Roxy bedtime in a little bit, so y'all might want to hurry up. So y'all go ahead.
What is that? Go ahead, Rosalie.
Okay, I'll be quick. So my name is Rosalie Sinius. I'm a sophomore student studying journalism and mass communications with a concentration in multimedia. So my question is, I'm a very creative individual, so I wanted to know, how do you guys deal with burnout? Because with me personally, like, I want to like take part in everything that there is, whether it's artistic, photography, videography, radio, all that stuff. So sometimes I take too much on my plate or feel like I don't have enough time to learn all the skills that I want to learn. So I kind of burn myself out. So how do you guys deal with that? And also with self-doubt as well, because imposter syndrome is real.
I know I'm not a panelist, but I can speak real fast. Hey, what's going on? Hey, look at East with that bob. You go, girl. That bob is moving.
Shout out to
Where, girl? I know that's right.
For a member. Great person.
What's going on, everybody? I'm James Williams. A lot of y'all probably just know me as Tank. So I graduated from A&T this past May. I only did 2 years at A&T. This guy came to high school with my associates. I was at WNAA, so shout out Ms. Murphy. I was actually one of the few students able to go live on WNAA. So yeah, but when it comes to burnout, and this is something that I definitely struggle with, especially early on in college, there's so much going on. You just want to have your hand in everything, but also realize that everything doesn't have to go to that next level. So some things are just a hobby, and it's okay with having certain things that are just a hobby, or certain things that you just pick up here and there when you want to do it. Like, everything doesn't have to be professional or like, hey, everybody has to see this, and it's okay with that. And when it comes to burnout, I would just say that make sure that you always are doing things that feel like you. I think it's so easy, especially like with social media now. You can get caught up in what somebody else is doing, and you're like, oh, I want to try that, or I want to do that. But like, it's a lot of times that we sort of step away from the things that truly feel like yourself. So I always say, just like, stay there, do things that feel like yourself, but also make sure that you're getting rest, like making sure that you're checking on your mental. All of those little things add up to you being the best creative that you can be.
I definitely agree. For me, I take a day, because I work every day, Monday through Friday, Sunday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I always like to take a break where I do nothing. Even though I love radio, love music, I will literally not do anything work related. I won't listen to nothing, because then I'm in the mindset of, okay, how can I work this, or what's wrong with this song, or something like that. Like, I just take a break and I go hang out with my friends. And because I'm taking that break, it's fueling me to get back to that creativity, to get back to that place, because I don't ever want to lose that passion or that drive, because I've worked so hard to get here already. So just taking that time to, when you know that you're not okay or like you need a break, truly take that break. Don't second guess it, because the more that you second guess it, the worse off it's gonna keep manifesting, and you don't want that to happen.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone?
I was gonna say, I agree also. Like, I had times where I was really dealing with a lot, especially when you have things going on with family or just personal issues. Sometimes you just really have to like give yourself a week or so just to kind of like I said, do nothing, completely nothing. And by the time that you actually come out of that, you're actually energized and ready to dive back into it.
All I can say is it might sound a little harsh, but you ain't got room to be tired. You ain't got room to have mind block. And I'm just being real with you, because it's like the world ain't got a lot smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like with social media, it's always somebody up creating content. It's always somebody else that's already ahead of you, whether it be followers, a movement, a brand. Everybody's behind somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to take mental breaks, but mental breaks don't mean that you gotta just shut everything down. You know what I'm saying? Like you can allow yourself a window where you just don't talk to nobody, but you writing out show prep. You writing out show content. You trying to figure out when I'm gonna drop this video, when I'm gonna drop that video. You know what I'm saying? Also knowing your lane and knowing who you want to be on the radio. Like, we all borrow stuff from each other on air, but you got to know your lane. Like, as far as me, I don't do gossip and tea on my show. Like, you'll never tune into my show and I have a whole segment about the baby, like certain situations I don't even speak on. Like the baby and Danny Lake situation, I didn't speak on it. Lil Nas X, I don't speak on it. So you got to know who you are and what message you're trying to portray to your audience and to your listeners, and that will help you develop more content relatable to which field you're trying to go into. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to have you need everything: the podcast, the on-air stuff, the in the clubs, in the community. Like you need all those to be a well-rounded radio host. It just don't stop when you get on air. Like you got to know that you got to be in the communities. If you want to be a pop and hip hop entertainment host, you got to go in the clubs. You got to be where your audience is at. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand the assignment. One quick gem before y'all go. When I was on the radio and I would have to fill in on any time slot, like 10 to 3, 3 to 7, like the day before, I would get in my car and I would ride around the city to figure out who's actually in the car during that time. So I knew the next day when I got to that shift, this is the people I'm talking to, because it differs from shift to shift. So like if I had to be on the morning show, I know who up in the morning. Kids going to work. That makes case if I was filling in for Big Mo, I'd be like, okay. The day before I rode around from like 10 to 12 or 10 to 3 or anywhere that window, I'd be like, okay, this the people at the red light. Okay, cool. When I had to fill in for the nighttime shift before I got, I was like, oh, this all ratchet people. Like, okay, I can just like get away with a little bit more. So it's all about knowing your audience, and that'll help you, you know what I'm saying, dictate on what you can put more effort into what, depending on what you got going forward. That's what I would say.
Okay, I have another question, and I'm Kalima once again. My question is, oftentimes I feel like y'all said you're gonna have to keep trying, you're gonna getting told no. But how do you keep going after the no's? Like, what keeps you guys motivated? Was there ever a time you wanted to quit because you felt like this not gonna work out for you? What was the method? Because I know for me, every time I get told no, I really be about to cry, because it's just like, dang, what you mean? No. And of course you keep trying, but how did you know something was going to eventually give?
I can speak first though, because I definitely got a lot of no's. So I really just got on at ESPN. Like I'm going to ESPN in January. I just got the call, but I don't know how many no's I received before that. And I think first of all, it's the thing of self-confidence, like knowing you just put the work in, knowing you're going to show up every day. You got to have more self-confidence in yourself than anybody else that's going to believe in you, because you're not your own biggest fan. Nobody else is going to be your biggest fan. And then I would say about the thing about getting no's is if you get a no, it's either not your time or that opportunity was too small for you. So you just got to realize sometimes people are just in front of you. I don't know how many times at WNA I had to sit behind doing Aggies After Dark. I had to come in between classes and do Aggies After Dark. I had to do gospel shows. I had to do some of everything, but you just got to realize, like with the nose, it just wasn't meant for you. There's always a big opportunity, but sometimes you also have to realize when you have to create your own opportunities as well.
I know for me, I use the no's as motivation instead of allowing them to crush me. So you do have the choice to like fold and break after a no, or you can use it as motivation. And like James said, look at it like, you know what? Wasn't my time. The opportunity wasn't big enough. The next one, use it as motivation. Use it to push yourself and use it to keep going, as opposed to letting it pull you down and break you down.
James hit it on the head with that one, but like just remembering what you do and why you do it. I keep saying that, but that's literally the only reason why I'm still here. I've gotten so many no's that I'd be ready to cry just like you, because with this industry, you're not just saying no to like my resume. You're saying no to my personality, like what I love. So it's a little bit more intense for me. So I get it. But like Roxy, like James said, it's just taking those no's and fueling, because when you looking back from where I am now, I'm glad those no's happened, because I wouldn't be in the building that I'm in now. If those no's happen, I'd probably be in Timbuktu right now on air somewhere. So just knowing that, like, I don't know if everyone's religious, but God has a plan. Like, your plan might not be the timing that he wants. And the timing that he wants is the one that you actually deserve and need. So going through all these trials and tribulations, hearing the no, that's just going to mean that when you get to that point, when you finally are in the seat, in the door, on air, doing whatever you want to do, it's going to feel 10 times better, because you worked your butt off for it. You went through the mud for it. You had sleepless nights where you cried on the phone to your mama being like, I want to quit. I'm done. But it's those times that make everything worth it. Because now I'm in a place where I'm just like, oh yeah, I know I can go harder, 10 times harder. Let's go. And now every time I hear a no, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's just keep going. Because somebody gonna give me a yes. Because I already know that there's a yes out there. I just gotta find it.
And to piggyback on what Lisha said, like one thing I'm big on is like manifesting. But I also had to realize like what that looked like for me. So I never take the chance to be like, I manifest being an on-air talent for this station. I don't look at it like that. I manifest as in, God, let me have a space where I'll get to go into an opportunity and influence others and do what I love and get impact from that and get paid from that. So also make sure you're just being open to what comes to you, just being receptive and just making sure that you're realizing what you're truly doing it for, what's your bigger goal, and following that passion.
All right, thank you guys.
I would just say, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, your time is your time. And what Drake said, you're not the only one that's trying to be the only one. Like, and I'm trying to tell you, like this radio industry, I said it earlier, this radio industry is behind. This entertainment industry is behind. So like you get no's, it's somebody that put in way more work than you and done way more work than you that's also getting them same no's. You know what I'm saying? And this industry is not for the weak. So if you feel like you can't take a no, if you feel like you can't take constructive criticism, if you don't feel like you're going to drive from here to Charlotte and back into Raleigh again for certain things for free, if you're not willing to say, I do it for free, then you're not going to go find this industry, man. You got to think, man, you got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead of the game. Like I understood when I was first hosting parties, I'll show up at 9 o'clock and I'll host for 30 minutes and get out your way. I don't mind passing out flyers. I understand I don't have no resume. I don't have nothing. I'm trying to learn. And like every day I can get better. No matter how high I can get up to somebody above me, and I got to wait my turn. But I got to thug it and go hard. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to let go of emotion. Not outside, but when you go home, there's been plenty of nights that I've been like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You just be starting to kirk. You like, I know I'm better than that person. I know I put in more work than that person, but like you say, it's just natural time. No matter how much you think you're supposed to be there right then and now, for some reason, it ain't work out. So if you can't take a no, you might as well go ahead and be a school teacher or just go get you something that's just like a regular 9 to 5. Because if you ain't willing to hustle and bustle over and over again for pennies and nothing and sleeping on people's couches and doing all that and doing what it takes, and every no is not a no. I just want y'all to know that. Every no is not a no. If that makes sense? All right, cool. All right, then we good. Hey, Eve, you don't got no questions. You been over there off your Real Housewives mediator, like, hello. And next, you got a question?
No, I really don't have any questions for y'all. Y'all doing a great job.
You got the brunch screen in the back that's grass?
Yes. The grass panel, the grass wall.
Selfie. Turn up.
Can I jump in on the note real quick?
Yeah, come on, CDK. I was about to shout you out. This is a man who I be seeing grinding. That's my bro, okay?
Where he at?
So hey y'all, what's up? First of all, what's up, Mark, Roxy, everybody else on the call, all my JMC students. So Roxy and Mark can attest to this. My first time applying to intern at 102, I actually emailed Roxy my freshman year, and I didn't know who was. And at the time it was February. And of course,
tomorrow is Friday.
Of course, it was too late to get an internship. So had I got an internship my freshman year at 102, I don't feel like I would have been developed enough as an entertainer and developed enough as a journalism student to be able to retain that internship and go on later to be hired as an on-air personality. So sometimes God, and I mean, I'm a very spiritual person. Sometimes I feel like God puts things in place and puts rocks and milestones in your place to meet people later on down the line. So that following year, I ended up applying and getting an internship and getting hired on air to be a 102 Jamz on-air personality, which is something that I've always grown to want to do. So, and it was a lot of times where I did remotes that we ended at 12 o'clock in the morning and got back up and did morning rush that same day, 5 o'clock the next day. And we going all day long, you know what I'm saying? Being beside Mark, being in the studio and just being able to pick up the slack where it was due, you know what I'm saying? Rather than, if I would have came in there with the mindset of I want to host, I want to be an on-air personality off the gate and didn't do promotions, didn't do remotes, didn't do anything, I would have been out the internship as soon as it was over. As soon as I got my class credit, it would be like, okay, thank you for your time. Deuces, you know what I'm saying? So being able to do things that you might not want to do now so you can do what you want to do later on, you know what I'm saying, is one of the things that I feel like I've taken away from being in radio, being in the entertainment industry, and just throughout my career and my journey.
All right, I guess it's my time to jump in. Okay, if anybody else has any more questions, go ahead, Mark.
Last thing, because CDK, perfect guy, tapped in. It's all about networking. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all how I got in the building. Like I'm emailing, calling. Nobody gets back to me. It's all about who you know. I met CDK at a Fresh Empire event. We was both hosting. You know what I'm saying? And we just clicked from there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell y'all the networking. Because there's somebody on this call who gonna be in a position to be able to help you out. Like, bro, congratulations on going to ESPN. That's super dope. You know what I'm saying? My sister was at Sports Center a while ago, so I know how I go. But y'all gonna see Jamz, and y'all gonna, oh, that's Jamz from the NABJ call, man. Let me call my man. I'm in the area. Like, I'm gonna see if I can link up with him to do X, Y, and Z. Like, the networking part is crucial. So, like, everybody in Crosby Hall, like, when I went there, we was a family. Like, we was Crosby kids. Like, we all was on each other. You know what I'm saying? To do better, be better. And after school, like, what's up? Like, I got this going on here. I got that going on here. You're a graphic designer. You are on-air personality. You do photography. You do, you know what I'm saying, media. Like, that's why we an Aggie family. All that's supposed to be coming together. And now I got a new friend. Lisha, I ain't know she was from home. You know, we gonna turn up. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other people that I met on here. You know what I'm saying? We lit. And yeah, I'm just gonna get on Roxy nerves one more time. Where is Roxy? Hey, Roxy. I'm done.
Okay, once again, thank you guys so much. Y'all are great panelists. If nobody else has any final questions or anything you guys want to say or add in, please let me know. And we'll go ahead and have panelists say one final remark that you want to leave, just one quote, one advice. Y'all been dropping gems this whole call, so anything else you want to say, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up and let people go home.
Well, I'm young in the game, so you know, I'm just starting out, but like everyone's been touching on, I'm here to help, because when people like Morgan, when people like Los was the first person who helped me really produce something. Without those people, I wouldn't be in this seat. I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys and give you the gems that they've given me. So like Mark said, take this moment right here to follow us on Instagram, hit us up in our emails, because I'm definitely willing to help in any way I can. And, you know, because I love helping, because without them, I wouldn't be here.
So I just want to say, you know, we've talked a lot about the grind and the struggle and the no's, and y'all might be thinking like, damn, like, oh, excuse me, like, dang, you know, it's a long, hard road, but you don't grind and you don't go that hard for something that's not worth it. Like, this is an amazing industry. I don't think anybody in it will tell you that they don't love it. And I don't think anybody will say, if I could go back, I'd change it. Like, I wouldn't change anything about my journey to get where I am now. So, you know, I know we talked a lot about the struggle, but it is so much fun and it is so worth it. And whenever you get to where you're going in your career, you'll look back and you'll just smile. You'll be as happy as my fellow panelists on this call. So good luck to you. And like Lisha said, you know, please feel free to hit us up, follow, we'll follow back. Well, I'll follow back. I'm speaking for everybody else. I'm sure we'll all follow back. But, you know, I'm more than happy to, you know, help in any way I can. Issa will probably tell you I don't respond the fastest, but I am here. I am here to help you, and good luck to you. And just enjoy the journey while you're on it. Enjoy it.
I'm gonna say, like everybody said, you know, when you got the passion for it, it's in your heart. Like Alicia said, you're gonna go through the nose. I'm gonna tell you, I wanted it so bad where I got fired from the station I was working with after 7 years. But then God made it where the GM was removed, and then I met the owner and came back as a salesperson, and then got my show back. So when I say you're determined, and if you a believer in a higher power than yourself, it's going to work out when you put the work in. And we all are here because we have the passion for it. And you all that's, you know, here with us, you all are the next generation, and you're going to carry the torch while we're still running the race or decide to go into another avenue of however we decide to grow. Because even though we are where we are, we still have dreams and aspirations to grow beyond. But it's just wonderful to have all of us here and just talking about the passion and the love. And as long as you continue to love one another, everything works out perfect.
Last but not least, Marky Marc, any final closing remarks?
Oh yeah, bet. I just want to say, man, I love y'all. Like, real live. Like, I love each and every one of y'all. If y'all need anything, y'all can always holler at me, whether y'all want to come out and then, you know, come out and party with me. Y'all want to soak up some radio knowledge, and just like, man, like, y'all it, man. Just like, believe in yourself, man. And nobody could be you better than you, man. You just gotta have faith in yourself. Like ain't nobody gonna believe in your vision until you make it come true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, before somebody created an iPhone, they probably thought he was lunching. You know what I'm saying? For somebody did Instagram, Uber, like whatever the case may. I'm sorry. 102 Jamz. Now you can call me 336-670-1021. We giving away turkeys. You jive turkey. Now call me up and guess them gobbles. 1, 2, 3. Call me out. Let's go. Yeah, man. I love y'all, man. Be yourself. Trust in your journey, man. It's gonna work out for you. And yeah, man. Just keep being y'all and keep grinding, man. It's gonna work out. I'm trying to tell you. That's all. I don't really got nothing to say. I love y'all. That's all. That's my quote.
Thank you. And be sure to connect with Tank as well. Another great A&T alum. So thank you guys once again for being on.
I have a question real quick, East.
Go ahead.
I know you guys mentioned about writing out my podcast. Do you suggest I can, you know, do it manually, whatever, to listen back to it? But do you guys have any apps or anything like that that can transcribe for you, or no?
The script when you're editing, it's a game changer.
Okay.
You can also edit video and text at the same time.
The script.
Yep. And you can also make audiograms for social media on it. It's free. It's real cute. Utilize it because it's been really saving my booty.
Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you, everyone. Be safe, be blessed, and have a wonderful night. Bye.